It's the Morning Pittsburgh Sports Report. Guy Junker, Ken Laird. Is he Zane Smith? Is he Danny Jackson? Is he Vinegar Ben Mizell, Guy Junker?
You've been talking to Steigerwald.
Yes, we have John Steigerwald reminiscing on the 1960 Pirates who brought in trade deadline help. Wandy Rodriguez is 33 years of age. The Pirates gave up 3 players for him, 2 arguable top 10 prospects, probably top 15 prospects in the system. Good trade, bad trade?
Well, I think it's a good trade. It's what we've been talking about. Go for the brass ring right now while it's there for the taking. But it does fly a little bit in the face of what they said they weren't going to do, in that they weren't going to trade prospects. He's not a rental player. I mean, they have him for this year, they have him for next year, and they might even have him for 2014. The option in his contract becomes a player option if he's traded. It was an Astros option if he stayed in Houston. So it's not exactly a rental player, but it is 3 young players for a 33-year-old guy that – well, you probably get two and a half years at most out of it. But I like it. I mean, it shows a little bit of gumption, and, they've slipped 2.5 games out all of a sudden here. You can't wait much longer.
Yeah, and I think they probably realized, hey, what if we have an injury down the stretch? We're in trouble. If James McDonald needs to go under the knife, if Tommy John comes calling, then what do you do?
If anybody just fatigues Ken last year even. And I think I actually talked to Jeff Carsons about that yesterday. I said, do you think because you weren't able to really pitch a lot in the beginning that you'll be better? He says he doesn't really know. He says he hasn't really experienced that yet. But, I think that's a good point as well. I mean, they're going for something right now. I think one of the things, when you're never going to, all of the high draft picks. Now, you don't want to miss on your number ones and stuff, but they've had so many high draft picks, and they've tried to build through the minor leagues. All those guys aren't going to make your major league roster one day. You stockpile that talent at some point because you want to use it to deal,
right,
and get major league talent that at a nice bargain. There's the other thing. They got A.J. Burnett. The Yankees paying a bulk of his contract. The $26 million Wandy Rodriguez is owed over 2013 and 14 should he stay here. Pirates only have to pay about $16 million of that. So financially, it's not handicapping either.
Yeah, he's not the pitcher he used to be. Probably 4 years ago, he had his best stuff. He's not as much of a strikeout pitcher as he once was, but he's also playing for a really bad team. He's lost 3 games in a row, and some of his quotes, he's clearly been rattled at all the trade speculation. I think yesterday Rodriguez was quoted as saying he wanted to cry when he heard the news. I think for Pirates fans, you're hoping that's not at the prospect of playing in Pittsburgh. It's just 8 years, same organization. It's got
the only guy left from their World Series team. I mean, sure, he's got some emotions there, and he was emotional in the dugout when I think he got the word in the 5th inning of their game against the Reds, which they blew. They had a 2-0 lead late. But yeah, I don't think it's because he's coming here. I just think he's got some pretty strong ties to the Astros.
And here they'll need to make an adjustment. Does Kevin Correa go to the bullpen? We'll find that out here in a few hours.
That would be the guy I would put there right now, especially with the strong outings that Karstens and Bedard have put out recently.
And will they go after a corner outfielder next? Or Rob Biertemple of the Trib saying that Shane Victorino, there have been some talks. The Pirates didn't want to give up Brad Lincoln for him. They offered Jared Hughes. No deal just yet. We'll see what happens.
See what happens there. And if nothing happens there, I think at least by this time next week, then Marte comes up.
You would think trade deadline is 4 p.m. on Tuesday, the 31st of July. Exciting times for the Pirates and their fans. Still in first place in the wild card as we sit here this morning. Guy Junker, Ken Laird. It's the Morning Pittsburgh Sports Report here at TribLive.com.